Hello, my name is sadboid.jpeg and welcome to my crib. So growing up, my mom, she always raised me to believe that making music and art is like a really important part of life. She forced me to learn, like piano, and growing up, I was, in band. I learned trombone, baritone, taught myself how to do guitar and ukulele and stuff like that. When I was in high school, I was part of the band program and I did marching band too. My marching band competed at, a local level and also a national level. We were at competitions like Bands of America and stuff like that. My senior year of high school, my band actually performed at the Rose Bowl Parade in California, which was really fun and a really good opportunity. Fast forward to college, I ended up going to the University of South Dakota. For 1 year, I studied computer science, and then I ended up dropping out after my freshman year because I hated my computer science teacher, and also college life was not for me. I also kind of was dealing with, my surfacing depression and anxiety, kind of past like a normal level. I was really dealing with a mental health issue. So I ended up dropping out of college after my freshman year, and then I kind of worked a few random jobs like Target and H&M and stuff like that. So one day I ended up hooking up with this guy. Met him online, drove over to his house. Little did I know that meeting this guy would kind of change the trajectory of my life forever. So while we were hanging out, he ended up asking me, hey, I've got this stuff. Do you want to smoke it? And I was like, so he ended up pulling the stuff out. I didn't know what it was. He's just like, oh yeah, dude, it makes you feel so good. It feels amazing. You should totally try it out. And I was like, okay, sure. What is it? And he ended up calling it Tina, which, I didn't know at the time was a slang word for meth, basically. Yeah, he didn't tell me it was meth, but I ended up smoking it. And first time I smoked it, I was like, yo, this shit kind of fire, and hindsight, if I knew now, if he just said meth at the time and didn't just use the slang Tina, I probably would not have actually smoked it. But I didn't know what it was and I wanted to try it, so I was like, sure, dude, whatever. And honestly, from that moment, I was hooked. It was over for me, dude. And honestly, it wasn't the high that is what got me hooked. Obviously that was awesome, but it was really the come down, and it was really how I felt afterwards, because I just felt terrible, dude. I felt like absolute shit. About 8 or 10 hours after leaving his house and going back home, I was already messaging him and hitting him up on where I could get more. And not less than 24 hours after trying it, I was already going to this dude's house in the middle of the cities to pick up a bag for myself. And this kind of started my downward spiral a little bit. Over the course of the next couple years, I don't know why, don't ask me why, I kind of just had this internal goal of see how many drugs I can try, and just try every drug that exists, and just see what every single high feels like, because I really was chasing that dragon, bro. It was crazy. So it kind of, it started with the meth, and I started doing coke at work because all the servers were doing it, and one of the servers at my work was selling it. And then I ended up getting into acid and shrooms and MDMA, DXM, Xanax bars, all that kind of stuff. And I ended up getting into oxy and heroin too, and that's, I think, really started getting bad, because I started combining heroin and meth at the same time. The high felt great, but I also kind of felt like my heart was going to explode, so that was kind of scary. And it was kind of a balance of which drug will counteract which come down, so I could just just constantly be under the influence of something, because to me reality was just terrible and I hated everything. So I was just at least substances make me feel better for a little while, whatever. But really the thing that was really controlling my life was the meth and the heroin, specifically the meth, because that's what gave me my energy to function for the day. And it kind of got to the point where it was just all my life was about was just making sure I could get that next high, and that was all I really cared about. It was really a problem. It ended up spiraling to worse, because it triggered what I now know is schizophrenia. But I was going through not sleeping ever, not eating ever, being super malnourished, being constantly putting my body through the process of being under an influence. And I ended up going through this, I ended up going into a 6-month psychotic episode or something like that. And it was, I can make a whole nother video about that, the whole mental health thing. Basically, I basically thought I was on the Truman Show. I thought that I had like a bunch of voices in my head all the time. I had these like crazy delusions. I thought I could go to the next dimension or something like that. And I thought that like my whole life was like a stage being like organized by like a scientist or something. And actually one day, I was chasing my parents around the house with a pair of scissors because I thought they were replaced by clones. So naturally, my parents called 911. I got taken to the hospital and I was put in the psych ward for it's like 2.5 weeks. While I was there, I ended up getting some medication, but I also did have to go to court because I did have like a lot of drugs on me that they found when the police came, when my parents called 911. The judge ended up mandating I go to treatment, I graduate from an outpatient program, and I live at a sober house for at least 6 months, which I ended up doing all of that. It was great, loved the process, and that's really what gave me that push to change my life and turn my life around. Fast forward to 6 years later. So yeah, oh, by the way, I have been sober for 6 years. Love that. That's kind of what this tattoo over here is for. I add a tally mark for every year that I've been sober. So fast forward to, I guess, this year, 2024. I'm married to a wonderful man. We're living life together, trying to get through it. I've been working a lot of like cooking jobs and stuff like that. My husband and I used to live in Minnesota, and I know we're not the only ones struggling. Dude, shit's expensive. Everything is so expensive right now. And we were just like really struggling financially, and really got to the point where we were, about to be homeless. We were broke AF, and we kind of just didn't know what to do. Him and I made the sort of difficult decision to come down to Florida to live here. There's a friend that we have that said we could live at his house for free for a while until we, figure out what to do. Ended up quitting our jobs. We packed up whatever we could in our car. We got rid of all of our furniture and honestly 80% of my random junk that I just kind of kept but couldn't get rid of. Packed whatever we could in the car, and we drove down to Florida in 2 days, and we're here now. I've been here for about, I guess it's like 3 months or something. For a while I didn't have a job. And one day I ended up finding this app called BandLab, which now is kind of like blowing up and like everyone knows about it, but I didn't know about it. I ended up downloading BandLab, and I kind of found like how easy it was to make music on there. So while I was in active addiction, there's a lot of times where I would just write music, write lyrics, write rap words, and I couldn't do anything with it because I didn't know anything about music production and I didn't have a computer. So I just kind of wrote the lyrics down in a notes app and then just put it away, So when I found this BandLab app, I was able to take those lyrics that I wrote forever ago and then finally put it to music, which I was really happy about, because it's for me personally, it's kind of like I could finally complete this idea of having music in my head and putting it to a song. So, using BandLab, I had a bunch of downtime. Using BandLab, I was able to make some music, get it recorded, and get some of it released. I mean, I'm gonna be real, the stuff that's out right now, it's not great. The production sucks. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, outside of BandLab, it's BandLab is great. I love it. I love the app as a stepping stone for learning how to make music. If you know absolutely nothing about production, BandLab is great for that. It really is a nice introduction. It makes everything simplified, super easy, and that's what I loved about it. But I will say, if you want good production, it's not gonna come from BandLab. And BandLab can only do so much. It's a phone app, So everything I'm doing it from my phone because I don't have a computer that works. I have a laptop, but I don't have the charger. When we moved here, we kind of grabbed a lot of stuff that we needed and didn't need, and forgot some essential things. I left my Switch at the old apartment. I was so sad about that, dude. My poor villagers in my Animal Crossing island, they're gonna be so mad at me. I mean, that's gone forever. There's no way I'm gonna be able to go back to my old apartment and get my Switch. BandLab is great for an introduction to music production, because you can at least get the idea from your head into a DAW. It at least gets you there. The music I have out now, it's most of the lyrics that I wrote and for the songs is lyrics that I wrote during active addiction. And I really wanted to make songs out of those because I feel like it kind of captured what I was feeling at that time and the mindset I was in. And it, almost for me personally, it's kind of like a personal catalog of my life was and what I was going through at the time. And if no one wants to listen to it because it sucks, the production's ass and it's really hard to listen to, sort of. But for me personally, I just like being able to have that. I decided to start releasing my music and start making this music project. I mean, I've always wanted to make music, and I really would like to be able to, but I know that's hard to be a music artist these days because there's a lot of music out there. I'm working on everything by myself. I'm doing the recording, I'm doing the production, I'm doing the visuals, I'm doing the marketing, which I suck at marketing. I don't know anything about that, but I'm really trying to do everything at like the lowest cost possible because I literally have like no money right now. I mean, I'm trying. And to be real, this whole music project that I'm working on, this sadboi.jpeg thing, even if it goes nowhere, it at least helps me mentally because making the music, recording the music, making the art, doing all that stuff at least helps keep my mind busy and helps me mentally, focus on something instead of just kind of like sitting here and doom scrolling on social media or something like that. So if anything, it's helping me mentally. I mean, the goal would be to, I'm not trying to blow up and be some mainstream artist, but if I could at least make enough money to like quit my day job, that'd be great. If I could just make enough money to literally live, I'd be totally cool with that. But not everything goes the way you want, and if this goes nowhere, if this art project goes nowhere, it's not going to be the end of the world for me. I'm just doing it because I really enjoy doing it, and if I make music that connects to someone and connects to an audience, that'd be awesome. If I have one fan out there who likes my music and they enjoy it, I'm totally cool with that, and it's not a big deal because I'm really doing this for me. And then if it becomes a career, that would be like super cool, but it's not. I'm not expecting it. I just wanted to make a introduction video, kind of a bio about myself, and this channel. Hopefully I can record more and do more. It's hard to do behind the scenes stuff because I'm doing everything on my phone, and I can't record me doing stuff on my phone while I'm using my phone. You see the problem? So I'm gonna do as much as I can. I'm gonna try and post music and lyric videos and stuff like that. I'm working on a new project right now. I just filmed my first music video the other day. That was a lot of fun. I had no idea how to film a music video, no idea, zero budget, but I really like how it turned out, and I think it's kind of a fun video. Don't really know what to do with this channel. I'm trying to just want to document things, try and get more personal about it, tell you about the process and everything. I really hope you join me on this journey to becoming a independent music artist, and I'm really excited to see where this goes and what I can make. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching this video.